Well, hello and welcome to Let's Get Acquainted. And I am Hillary Gooden. As you can see here, I have my guest here with me, Miss Munira. Say your last name.
Zahabi.
Zahabi. Okay. It sounds just like it looks. So
Yes,
I'm so glad to have you with me tonight. How's your day been?
It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. And are yours?
It's been a kind of a busy day, but a great day. It's always a good day.
Great.
So our theme that we're discussing, I wanted to change it. Someone said, you need to talk about this some more. Overcoming procrastination. That is going to be our topic of discussion tonight. And so as you come in, what I want you to do is share this broadcast out, share it, tag a friend, then come back and put in the comments, let us know where you're coming in from. I'm coming in from Harvey, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. How about you, Munira?
I'm in Naperville, Illinois, which is about, I think, an hour and a half away from you.
All right. And no matter where we are around the city of Chicago, what do we tell people? I'm from Chicago.
Chicagoland, yes.
So I'm going to play a quick commercial. That's going to give us all a time to share, and tag some people, and then come on back in and let's get into this discussion on overcoming procrastination. So give me a second here, and I'm going to play my very own commercial right quick. Here it is. See you in a few. Hi, busy women leaders. I'm talking to you. Are you juggling your family, your business, your career, and your health? Afraid that if just one ball drops to the ground, everything could fall apart because everybody's looking at you. You're stressed and overwhelmed. You're looking for answers, for help that's real help, for solutions. I have Vibrant Life Solutions that can help you. I am Hillary Gooden, the Vibrant Life Coach, author, speaker, lymphologist, and pastor. I empower busy women leaders with strategies to reduce stress and anxiety while increasing energy, clarity of mind, better sleep, better health, and vitality. Oh yeah, and boost your immunity. If you're ready for that, you say, I need that in my life right now. Let's connect. You can reach me at www.hillarygooden.com. You can direct message me on Facebook or LinkedIn at Hillary Gooden. Or else if you would like to get on a free 20-minute strategy call, a clarity call, go to bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. That's bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. I absolutely believe you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life. All right. So, you know what? We don't have that much time, and because the conversation can just go on because it's such a good topic, I want to jump right on in. So, procrastination. Would you say that procrastination is a sign that someone is lazy?
No, it's not. Procrastination is not laziness. But in reality, it's something deeper than what's going on. Sometimes it's fear and stress. And there are so many different reasons that people procrastinate because they just don't want to fail. Half of it is just because they have they have fear that they don't want to fail. And procrastination usually comes from an emotional place.
Yeah, I find that too, that it's a fear of something. It's a fear of something, like you said, fear of failure. Sometimes people have a fear of succeeding, and that's always one that's really baffling. You said fear of succeeding, but then on the other side, it said, well, if I succeed this time, will I be able to do it again? You know, and
Yes.
so yeah, and so you put off things. So as you're coming in, let us know where you're coming in from. Put it in the chat so we can shout you out and say hello. And if we say something that's interesting to you, please do join the discussion in the comments, and we'll be able to bring your comment up so that we can see if maybe you have a different perspective than we do. Okay, so we've dealt with that. It's not about being lazy, because sometimes people get labeled as lazy, and when really it's not that at all. Some of the hardest working people are procrastinators.
Yes. And, this happens usually when you're in college or school, because what happens is that you put off an assignment, you keep it up, and then the last minute you are trying to reach the deadline. And we've all done it.
Yes, absolutely. And that was me. I'm gonna just be truthful here. That was me. I would wait to do homework until it would be late in the evening, and as a child, and said, "Did you do your homework? Did you do it? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." Then, why are you up so late? You need to go to bed. But I gotta finish doing my homework. It started back then, you know. And when you get to be an adult and you're working on jobs or you're working in your own business, sometimes it's just not profitable, right? The procrastination, because uh let me just kind of stay on here. Can you see this comment I have up here? It says, oftentimes people will work long, intense stretches of time just before meeting a deadline.
That's true.
And
That's true. Because
and that could so that could lead to not having time to review the work that you've done. You just get it done and submit it, and you'll find that you had all kind of maybe mistakes and errors that you didn't have time to even review that your work.
it's true. But then there's always two sides to a coin, right?
Yeah.
And some people who are overachievers will finish that, right? Will finish the assignment way before way. And then what they'll do is they'll keep changing it, and they'll keep changing it, and they'll keep changing it. And it pretty soon, whatever they started out with originally is not what the end version is.
Something totally different. Keep second guess, give you too much time to second guess yourself.
Right.
We talked about being perfectionists, and that's that perfectionist syndrome, I guess you could call it, trying to make it perfect when there's, sometimes we have to be okay with it not being perfect in order to get some things completed.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
So my next comment I have here, talking point, is, can you see that? Can you read it?
Negative consequences of procrastinations is feeling of anxiety, stress, fatigue, disappointment for falling under their own standards and having to put their life on hold for chunks of time.
Yeah. And that last thing there is talking about when you wait till the last minute, now you got to stop everything. You got to stop everything because you got to meet this deadline. You got to get this thing done, or else. I don't know what the or else depends on what it is, you know. And when you talk about wasting time or procrastinating, is I don't know. Let me hear what you have to say about that. You know.
Before you start labeling everything, we need to figure out what exactly causes procrastination, right? So let's talk about what causes it. So some of the main topics are perfectionism, fear of failure, a fear of criticism, and then they have a low esteem, some people have, and then some people just have trouble focusing, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happens when people start to procrastinate. And then when they're coming up to a deadline, now whatever they want to do, like for a young mother who has children, she's not going to be able to spend time with her kids because now she's catching up on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So one way to figure out procrastination is do it as it comes. Just tackle it one bit at a time, little bit at a time. And
Yeah.
I had a friend who had this, she and her husband would get into the fact of, they would always have a fight, if you will, the marital bliss, if you will. They would always have that fight where she would never be able to compete with a lot of laundry.
Mm-hmm.
So she came to me and she goes, "You need to help me. I don't know what I'm going to do because I cannot do laundry in loads of large loads."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, these days you have different kinds of washers and dryers. Is your dryer, one of your washer is very modern? Why don't you do every 2 days you do laundry and put it away? So you have
Yeah.
kids' clothes. And if you do it is in chunks, then you don't feel overwhelmed because part of the feeling of procrastination is also overwhelmed and they get stressed out. I'm never going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When you go ahead.
when she started doing that, it allowed her to chunk it out in small pieces. Yes, they had to buy more laundry soap, right? But the thing is, it's give or take. So more laundry soap compared to time and overwhelm. And I said, you know what, spend the money on soap compared to going to a shrink and getting this thing fixed. And it helped her because now she's able to grasp it. Her house is cleaner. There's no, I mean, they have arguments, not like, unlike everybody else, but it's like she's able to tackle it.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out what exactly is the fear, what is the underlying issue that this person is
Yeah.
procrastinating.
That overwhelm. It's amazing that overwhelm is one of the reasons for procrastination, and then
True.
procrastination is the reason for the overwhelm. You know what I mean? It's like a vicious cycle, a vicious circle, and you have to disrupt it. And so, just like you mentioned about small chunks, sometimes you can, maybe it's your surroundings. Maybe you need to, even if your surroundings is not conducive to being able to work or to get something done. If you're around, maybe you're around, too many friends for too long or something like that. Maybe you need to be in a quiet space, depending on what type of work it is. You know, Sometimes you can have too many distractions, if you will,
Yeah,
that
true.
can contribute to the procrastination. So, what is your some tips that you have about, like, your surroundings, or you talked about the small chunks, and the other thing is focusing on what you want to do, and I think that's what you helped her with.
Right. So one of the things is that you plan it out, right? Like if you
Mm-hmm.
have like a planner or somewhere where you plan it out and you just say, this is are the things that I need to do. What do you need to do? Don't figure out
Mm-hmm.
how to do that. What is it that you need to achieve? Once you have your goals lined up, then you can divide chunks in small pieces. As if I do this, what is the cost and what is the payoff of me finishing this, right?
Yeah,
Then reward yourself because some
exactly.
people, like, if I finish all my laundry, then I'm gonna go watch a movie. I can
Yeah.
afford to watch an hour of my favorite show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you still want to reward yourself, like my friend, what I had her do was, now she's my friend, but she's younger to me and she's a new housewife. But what I had her also do is, like, you like to watch your shows. Why don't you do laundry and watch your show together? If you're folding laundry, watch it together, right? So
Right.
you have an hour to do both things.
Right.
And
And it
she
makes it. Mm,
and it worked out for her. I'm sorry.
yeah,
It
it
worked
makes
out
it
for
not.
her.
Yeah, it makes it not seem so cumbersome. Kind of
Right.
takes your mind off
Because
of it being a chore.
right. And then
Mm-hmm.
you also have to evaluate what is the cost if I put it off later. Most people will not do their taxes on time. That's a prime example, right?
Yeah.
And they'll hurry to the accountant at the last moment to get their taxes done. But accountants are smarter because, oh, if you want it smarter and I have to stay up to do your taxes, I'm going to charge you double. So by
Exactly.
the end of April, they raise their price.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, if you're going to do that, are you willing to part with that peace of mind or money?
Exactly. Count the
So,
cost.
right.
That makes a lot of sense
So
as
what?
well.
So one of the things you have to do, everybody has to do, is plan it out and figure out what is the cost. Once you
Hmm.
figure out what the cost is, then you know how to you need know how to balance it.
Yeah. That's when I always was one for writing down to-do lists, just to kind of stay focused and to make sure I'm getting things done. And you can look at that list as you're checking off, getting this done, getting that done, and you want to get some of the smaller things done first to kind of give yourself a feeling of accomplishment, and then tackle something that's kind of big on there that needs to get done as well. You know, because sometimes when you don't have it, like you said, planned out in a planner or like a to-do list, a basic to-do list, you just can piddle paddle at a little bit of this and a little bit of that and not completed anything. So it's if you can complete some of the small stuff, that can make you feel like, what, I'm ready to tackle one of those big things I need to get done.
Yeah.
Right. And this the end of the year as business owners, entrepreneurs, and people on your jobs, depending on what type of job you have. You may have year-end reports and different things that have to be done by December 31st, and it's just good to be mindful now, even of the things that you need to do, and work out some strategies that will help you. That's why we're talking about this today. Some strategies that will help you to win.
True.
Because when you win, even at the smallest thing, it gives you more confidence and more assurance that you can do those bigger tasks as well. So some of these things that we talked about tonight, I hope that they have helped you and will help you to do those things that you need to do so you can overcome procrastination. It's a time stealer, and you can't get your time back. So
Yeah.
you want to make the most of your time, and so that you have time for your family, your friends, for fun, for relaxation, doing some of the things that you want to do, you love to do, that you need to do. Any final words about procrastination? Because now it's time to shift.
No, I'm good. You said it all. That's
Ah,
perfect.
all right, wonderful. So, Munira, this is the time where we can get acquainted with you, who you are, what tell us whatever you want about yourself. Depending on what you say, I may have a few questions there. And then after that, we can share about what it is that you do to help other people. She is, what I meant to tell you all, and I'm just going to put this up here. She is the Niche Navigator. So before she gets into talking about that, just tell us a little about you.
So I have lived in Chicagoland for almost 10 years now. I moved here from Dallas, Texas, for a man, of course. It's
I was
always
ready
the
to say.
case. But I came. I was born in Kenya. I've come to United States
Oh,
when I was 30 years old with little kids, and I have grown in this capacity a lot. Right, moving, move. So, right. I mean, if I start telling you my history, it's a whole book that I can write. But I moved countries. I was born in Kenya. Was brought up there, then moved countries and went to Tanzania when I was 15 when I got married. Then I was with my husband, and then I lived there for 15 years, and then I moved to United States. I lived in California for 17 years before moving to Dallas. So I mean, I've been moved a lot, right? So, anytime you tell
yeah.
me to pack my bags, I'm okay.
Wow, when you can move country from country to country like that, yeah, making the
Yeah.
next move is not that hard, right?
Right. So it's continents that I moved, and I came here. Things were hard, but now I'm able to position myself, as a grandmother, a mother, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I came here for a man. I had my previous marriage, then I was alone for a while. Then I decided, okay, you know what, people need companionship. So when I came to United here in Chicagoland, my marriage lasted less than 7 years, or
Mm.
about 7 years, and my husband died just pre-COVID.
Oh,
And
sorry to hear that.
thank you. And so, you've tried to make it, but I am very blessed because I have a lot of grandchildren from 12 to 2 months, and
Mm.
I'm just enjoying each one of them. Everybody calls me, everybody wants to talk to me, everybody,
Oh,
so it's a good knit family. I live
yeah.
alone because I like that sanity, but I have
your,
grandkids.
your peace.
I have some kids, grandkids, and kids in different states. I have my daughters and my son. My one son is in Minnesota. My daughter is in California. My other daughter is in Canada. I have two here in the Chicagoland area, which is an hour away, but it's good to see them when I see them.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You have a rich richness in your
Yes.
family, and that's really a blessing. Really a blessing.
So I'll tell you one thing, things in life are cyclical, right? Things in life are cyclical. And when I started out my life, I lost my mom at when I was 12. And then within 8 months, my father married another woman, and she came in as a stepmother. And you've all heard the Cinderella story. So exactly things like that happened to me. Then I got married at 15, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? I didn't know. I had just the high school education, and that was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But went through hell. I went through hell through those 24 years when I was with my husband.
Mm.
Literally, it was hell. I don't want to discuss a lot of it, but I'm learning to put this behind the past. But what
Yes.
I'm saying is, when you step in life, nothing is promised. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
is promised. So there are people out there, they're your audience who are listening. There's They've gone through some kind of trouble, some kind of heartache, some kind of issue that goes on. The idea and behind what my message to you ladies is that keep trudging forward, because
Yeah.
at the end of the tunnel there is a light. And
Yes.
you know I've been in for almost 40 years of my life. I've been in this tunnel. It took me a long time to get out of it, but now is the calm before the storm. It's the calmness that I feel. I'm blessed with my kids, I'm blessed with my business, I'm blessed with friends like you, and people
Yes.
who acknowledge me for who I am. And
Yes.
that's what shapes a person.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing, and it's nothing like having your peace in your body and peace in your mind, peace of mind, and that
Yes.
helps you to have peace in your space. Wherever,
Yes.
however big that space is, you want to have a peace. And sometimes you have to do your peace from when you didn't have it. And once you get it, you never want to let that go.
No.
So that's a wonderful thing. I love that your family is close, even though, you got places where you can go travel to visit them and come back, if you desire. So that's a great thing too.
Yes. And it's just fun to see each one of my kids go through. They've grown through this tunnel, and they've come across this tunnel, very well rounded people. All of them are very well settled. They have their families, and they're raising their families. I try not to interfere as much. I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, what can you say? But I try not to interfere, and I let them do what they need to do. And when they do that, I feel that I'm a very proud mother and grandma. So
Well,
those
I
are
am
the
glad.
accolades.
Yeah. I'm glad that you shared that because I knew none of that about you. So it's good to hear, about your family life and that you've come through some hard times, but you're well rounded, and in the midst of all of that, your children watched you become stronger, to come out of a situation and to become stronger, and they've taken that on with them too, surely.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
So now, as the niche navigator, some people may not have heard the word. We know that word because of being entrepreneurs, and some people may not be familiar with that. So tell us what it is that you actually do in helping. Are you only dealing with women, or just tell us more?
So a niche is your purpose, your what are you here for? And I'm sure everybody on this call has at one point in their life or several times in their life have thought about, hey, what am I here doing here? Now here
Mm-hmm.
meaning not in your house, but here, and what is your purpose in life? And so the niche comes from there. It's the nucleus, right? And what I do is I know that somebody out there has to hear your story. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
out there needs your help because you've done something that is so well, like me coming from East Africa. If anybody told me to, how do you do that? I can give you a whole ebook on how to do that, right? And just put it down in bullet points. So what have you done that is so exceptional? Now you're gonna some people who are overachievers will have already a bullet point going, but there are some people who are gonna say, I've not done anything. Well, you've created something that can help other people. And one of the things that I do is I bring that out for people. I help you figure out. And I can help anybody. That's what I think as an entrepreneur. But my niche client, my ideal clients are entrepreneurs who want more clients.
Mm-hmm.
They want more clients. And I do this by talking to them, by working with them, and I help them understand what their purpose is, what's the bottom line.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, how can I say? When did you know that your purpose was in helping other people with their purpose? Was there a moment where you said, you know what?
Right. So I was always helping people. I always knew how to multitask, figure things out. And back home, I was a teacher, so I would put up a schedule for everybody. I would just make the monthly schedules for everybody, and I worked in a school, so there was a lot of things on my plate. Even though I was a homeroom teacher, they would just, oh, Munira, can you do this? Can you do this? Or can you help me with this? So it was always about helping people, right? And I felt good, even though there was a lot of stuff on my plate, I felt
Mhm.
good and enjoyed it. But when I came to America, the first thing I realized was America has a lot of resources for a
Mhm.
lot of people.
Yeah.
But many people who are born and bred here don't know stuff. They don't know about these resources and how to take um, advantage of these. These loans you can take out, there's programs that you can enroll in to finish your school, so many things. But when
Mhm.
I came here, I burned my bridges. And there are people that I know who even today who have one foot in the country they came from and one foot when they are in here, and everything they do is back home. But when I
Yeah.
came here, I broke my bridges because I didn't have anybody. I didn't have my parent. My father had passed away when I came here. My stepmother was there, but I didn't want to. That's another story for
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
And so I told my husband, I said, when I go to America, I am an American. That's it. So that
Mhm.
mindset was very clear. And when I came here, I was always looking for resources. Now, not to say that I haven't done any menial jobs, because I worked as, I started out working, not working, but I started out volunteering in a hospital. I didn't
Okay.
know how to use a till machine. At that time, we had till machines 30 years ago. and they would use, how to, they would give the change. And in a hospital gift shop, we were
Mm-hmm.
taught how to use that. And in Africa,
Okay.
we didn't have a till machine. Only those very sophisticated businesses would have a till machine. And I was like, I don't know how to use this. Then I went in and volunteered. So for a whole year I volunteered. And then
Mm-hmm.
I even volunteered in my children's schools. And then
Mm-hmm.
when people saw potential, people see you working, people see you getting the potential, they will come and help you. So I
Yeah.
got a job. My first job was as a teacher's aide. I worked 3 hours in a school, and I was paid. My first paycheck was $100. And when the principal came to give me my check, he says, every at the end of the month you have to come and collect your check. And I was like, this is my check? I've never been paid before. This is my check? And I was like, wow, it was $100.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And I started crying, and he was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
something wrong? Are you okay? And I was like,
Yeah.
this is my first check. But things opened up. I saw opportunities everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then when I saw stuff, I was able to help other people get to where I was going. So I enrolled in a pharmacy technician program. They were the government had programs like that. You could enroll in that, you could figure out what you were going to do. And I was always helping people in the pharmacy program. I was always helping students, my fellow students who were younger
Mm-hmm.
than me, how to calculate stuff, right?
Yeah.
How many pills do you give if you're going to get some pills for every 4 hours or every 6 hours?
Right.
And if you're going to get them for 7 days, how many do you give? So it's
Right.
easy math we can do in our head. But the base of education in some schools wasn't what we came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that opportunity, and then I got a mentorship. I got a mentor student plaque. I wasn't expecting it, but I just wanted people to get ahead. I wanted to
Yeah.
see. Then I got a job in the pharmacy, and I saw a lot of turnover in the pharmacy because I saw people coming and people going. We had pharmacy technician students coming in and working their clinicals, and I had pharmacists going to be pharmacist students, coming
Yeah.
for rotations. I worked in a hospital, a teaching hospital, but people never saw their own potential, where I could see it clear as day. It was
Yeah.
like,
There you go.
I wore the glasses, the pink
Yeah.
glasses, where I saw everything a rosy picture, and had just lost hope. And I started helping people see, asking questions and figuring out. Back when I wasn't even sure that coaching was a thing, that it
Right.
was
Right.
a thing for
You just helping people.
just helping people. And then I went up, I moved from the hospital to a corporate career. And there, when I lost my job and I talked to several people, somebody told me, you know what, you need to find you have the aptitude and attitude to go and become a coach. And I said, okay. And he goes, but you need a coach yourself. And I was like, okay. He goes, you have an exceptional stories. And I mean, look at what you've done. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. I didn't see that in myself, just like
Right.
everybody else, right? And why are you tooting your own horn? I mean, we were told from babies when we were young, do not toot your own horn. You cannot be proud. It's not about being proud. It's about sharing your achievements with everybody,
Yes.
to share with them what you have accomplished and what they can accomplish. If I can do it, you can too, right?
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing. And if you found your purpose, then you can, like you said, help them find their purpose. I've always found it interesting, when you engage people in conversations and you talk about something like that, what is that thing that if you could do it and you didn't have to worry about money that you would love to do? Sometimes people
Right.
realize, oh, well, there is something, and you help them to see this potential, to see that they do know their purpose. They just sometimes are afraid to think that they could actually be that or do that thing.
Right, right. So then I was like, I can help people. I can do this, right?
Mm.
But why, the question was, why do you want to help people? But you've been doing it all your life, so it comes naturally to you.
Right.
Somebody wants a website made, I know how to do it, I'll do it for you. Somebody wants a logo made, I can do that for you. Like, who makes you the volunteer of everything,
Of
right?
everything.
But so what I have learned is that everybody in this world has problems. Everybody,
That's true.
from the richest guy to the poorest person, they all have problems.
That's right.
What you have to show up as is, how do you solve their problem?
Yes, the solution. Be the solution.
Be the solution, exactly. And if you can figure out how you can step into their life, either one, they're just going to say, oh, she's very cocky, or she's very sassy, and she just stepped in there and she did it all. Or they're going to say, they'll never forget you and say, that was that one person who sat there and took time to spend with me to help
Yeah,
me understand what was the next step.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it sounds like you love what you do.
I do. I do. When I was a teacher back home, I used to teach second graders, and there were times, I come from a culture where you had to know your multiplication tables, right? 4 times 4, but you had to explain to them why it was 4 times 4 is 16, and you have to explain to them. And then when you see the little lights in their eyes when they get it, you see the little eyes, they're so bright, and you see the bulb go on, and it's so amazing when somebody
Yeah,
gets it. That same reaction I see when I work with people, and they are like, oh my god, I just got it,
yeah,
and they've been working at this business, or they've been working at this for a long time, and they haven't got it yet. But it
yeah.
takes time to build this muscle, just like you exercise every single day.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that we got acquainted. That's why I love this show. I wanted to do this show to showcase other people, to get to know people. And sometimes, you can be in, like, we've been in different groups. Excuse me. That's how we met. And even though sometimes you don't get a chance to get acquainted, really. And so I said, well, let me get acquainted and open it up, and then whatever you want to tell us about yourself. I didn't want to get into a thing where you just have like a set questions to ask everybody the same questions. No, let's have a conversation. And so I'm thankful that you came on today, and I'm glad that we gotten acquainted somewhat. And I love that you love what you're doing, just like me. I love what I get to do in helping people, as far as their health is concerned. And again, I'm talking about the lymphatic system. And people a lot of times never even heard that they have a lymphatic system. And
It's
so
true.
it's always amazing when the light bulbs go off and come on, rather, and they're like, oh, that makes so much sense. So yeah, it half the battle, even with procrastination, is that when you love what you do, you know, you'll take those times to make it happen, to do what you need to do, you
True.
know.
So there's two things, right? One of them is, if you've read the books by the Winnie the Pooh books, right?
Yeah.
And Winnie the Pooh is so happy when he gets honey, right? Honey,
Yes.
and he's so happy. But Tigger is what you should be like every single day, because nothing can stop this Tigger. He's always bouncy. He's always
Yeah.
happy. And if you're ready, people don't want to be hanging out with you when you are like, Eeyore, what
Yeah,
is
girl.
going on in this world?
So
Oh my
slow.
God, it's wonderful day. It's a drizzly day. Even if it's snowing, Tigger is like, oh, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I hate snow, but what is there to hate?
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
has that little this thing. So anytime I feel little down, I'll find a clip on YouTube, and I'm like, Tigger, just show up and make my
Yeah,
day.
it took me a long time about Tigger. One day it just popped. It just came to me. I just happened to be seeing about Tigger, Winnie the Pooh. I don't know how I came across it, but it did. And Tigger was doing his usual thing, bouncing around and stuff. Then I said, "Oh, Tigger is tiger.
Yes,
Tigger
yes.
is actually a tiger." I got so amused at myself. I said, "Man, sometimes people might not even know, like Tigger. He don't know how to say his what he is properly. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
that's all right. He still is who he is, and unapologetically, and that's what way
And
we
you know
need to
what?
be living in our
If
lives."
everybody in this world mirrored Tigger, then there would not be sadness, there would not be procrastination, there would not
Hmm.
be self doubt, because whatever comes your way, hey, let's make it a worthwhile.
Let's make it happen. Absolutely. So, if people would like to get in touch with you about their niche, they got some ideas, but they're not sure. What's the best way for them to connect with you?
So, can I promote something that I'm doing?
Yes.
I am doing a I have a new thing right now that's going, that's really got me excited. I am willing to work with 15 people, first come first serve basis. Very serious minded 15 people to work with me without paying me upfront money. And you cannot, you if you want to pay me, that's fine, but you will you I will not ask you for money until you get results. And if that's a very good offer, just like everybody is selling cars, come get drive this car for 45, no payments till 60 days, come sleep on my mattress, use it for 45 days, kind of like that, because I guarantee the results. And I've seen people working at it so diligently. If you are serious minded and you want to come work with me, just send me a message on Facebook, Munira Zahabi, and just send a message. I will send you a calendar. We'll get together. We'll talk. And you can go to my website. It's the nichenavigator.com, the and just use the contact me page and send me a message, and I will connect with you to make it happen. But the best way to connect with me is Facebook. Just send me a message, and then let me know in one of my posts that I sent you a message. That way it's easier to find you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your insights, your perspective, and your experience, around our theme topic today, and sharing, who you are, and just inspiring someone that may be going through some things that are kind of rough right now. But it's not rough always. If you keep keeping on, you're going to make it through. And
You
that's what Munira has shared with us today. And she's done it across continents. So you can do it right now, wherever you are. Just keep pressing forward is the main thing. And don't let procrastination stop you. Right. And
appreciate
so I just want to thank you for that. I'm going to share something. Right. I put the special offer that she has there. You can see it. Can you see it on the screen? Because I can't see it from my side right here.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
It's gonna come. Yeah, there you
There
go.
it is. Okay. Her special offer is for 15 people that's ready to take action. If you're not ready to take action and you love procrastinating, uh, she's kind of ready for those that's saying, you know what, I don't want to procrastinate anymore. I
You
am
have
ready.
to
I'm
do,
ready
yeah,
now.
anybody who is interested, you have to do the work, and you are committed to doing the work, because I can't promise you results if you don't work.
If you don't do the
But
work.
it's not a free, if it's not a freebie, but you don't have to pay me upfront, because once you start getting your first client, you'll want to pay me.
All right. So there it is. Thank you so much. I want to ask you to go in. I'm going to put you in the back studio for a few minutes,
Yes.
and then I want to share some information with with the audience, and then we'll have a quick chat before we go. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for being on tonight. Wow. That was Munira Zahabi, and I'm so glad that she came on. I just wanted to share with you before we get away from here tonight that You know, I am your vibrant life promoter. I promote vibrant life by activating your lymphatic system and maintaining a healthy lymphatic system, as well as stressing less. You know, stress is the one of the number one things that can cause you to have different conditions going on in your body that the doctors can't quite figure out. And so, as your as that coach, I would love to work with you. If you're ready, you know, you said, you know what, it's enough. Enough is enough of going through this different pain and lack of energy and just feeling like something is wrong, but I don't know how to get the victory. I don't know how to win in this situation. I'm doing everything that my doctor tells me to do, and it still seems like nothing is getting any better. I would love to share with you and help you to understand why your lymphatic system can help you have better health and a more vibrant life. So if you would love to find out more information about what ails you, do I have solutions for that? And I'm pretty sure I do have some vibrant life solutions for you. You can direct message me here on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well. Make sure that you're connecting with me, following me. And please, those of you on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Even those on Facebook and LinkedIn, show some love and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love that. So if you're interested, though, in working with me, you want me to come alongside you to help you to win. You know, you don't have to wait till January 1 to start to make a change. You can make a change now. Now is always the best time for change. When you know that we're talking about your health. For your health's sake, contact me and let me, I have a 20-minute free clarity call to find out what it is that you're going through and how it is that I can help you. And I'm trying to find my thing here. So I have one-on-one. We can work together with one-on-one coaching. I have a 30-day program, a 60-day program, and also a 90-day program and a 6-month program. 30 days, 90 days, or 6 months. It depends on you and how soon do you want to make it work? How much do you want to know? And you know, once you start finding out that you got the power to gain control over your health, you're going to want to know more. And so let's connect. Let's do this before the year is out. There's no need to wait. And there we go. So you can connect with me here on by direct messaging me, or if you would just like to set up a call, you can go to bit.ly/speak with Hillary. That's bit.ly/speak with Hillary. And if you're ready, I'm ready for you. Have a great evening.